What no one told you about land banking in Abuja that prevents demolition and revocation without compensation and replacement. Now, you're going to learn what no one told you about land banking in Abuja. Let's get to it. Now, what you're about to learn is something that nobody have told you before. People are doing it and using it on code to invest in real estate and increase their net worth. What do I mean? You see some land that the owners are selling 1 billion, 800 million, 400 million, 300 million. And you wonder, oh my God, when am I going to have a property like this? The truth is not every real estate investment that will get up to that. People who do this strategically do it, knowing exactly what they expect. You're going to learn it because this strategy I'm about to share to you with you, there are people I know that have used it and made billions. A man bought a land for 50 million naira, and 8 years later he used that land to get a loan of 1.3 billion. You wonder, how much would the land be? Well, he bought it 50 million, and after 8 years he used it to get a loan of 1.3 billion. The land size is over 1 hectare and is not residential, is an industrial plot. Now there's another person, he bought a land for 7 million naira, and about 8 to 9 years later he sold that land for 300 million. Then another person, almost the same size, this particular one is 900 square meter residential. Now another person used his land that he bought 8 years later, he used it to get 4 units of 3 bedroom apartment. He didn't build it. All he did was he gave somebody the land, the person built on the 800 and something square meter, and they shared the units of the houses 50-50. The developer or the builder got 4 units of 3 bedroom apartment. The owner of the land got 4 units of 3 bedroom apartment. Each unit was in the market for 160 million. Now, what you're about to learn, you will not see it anywhere. People who leverage this are majorly developers, people who go into the market with billions of naira. So the advantage you have is you can actually start this with as little as 30 million, 35 million, up to 120, depending on the size, depending on the purpose, and depending on the use. So I want you to remove every distraction because you cannot afford to miss any point. This strategy is in 4 parts. Number one part, and the reason why you need to follow this is because the benefits will amount to what these other people I told you benefited. It's the same thing developers do when they buy a very large um, size of land, they parcel it. So, but you're going to be doing it with as little as 380 square meter, 400 square meter. So pay attention. So you do not go into land banking like a novice. After listening to this podcast, you will find out that you have just gained a lot of knowledge without moving from your location to where I am. So now let's get to it. So this strategy, like I said before, is in 4 parts. The number one is that you must make sure that this land you're buying has its own title. It has its own title. It's not the kind of land that you buy and then the original C of O, original FCDR of O is with somebody else, and then you now have another document with you. The reason is what you'll find out later. Number two, this land must be an FCDA direct allocation. We are looking at long-term investment because land banking is a long-term investment. It's not an investment you make and then you buy the handbag and you go home with the bag. This property, you're going to leave it wherever it is for 8 to 10 years. So you need the FCD title to be direct FCD allocation, either FCDR of O or FCDAC of O. Number 3, the purpose. Because you're trying to make money, you're going to make money. You are here to make money. You're not looking for a place to build a house that you're going to live. You're looking for a place where you can make money from. So we are looking at the number 1 is mixed use, commercial, multi-purpose, shopping, a commercial plot for shops, or in fact, any commercial plot, shops, mall, warehouse, industrial, whatever. That's the first. Then if it's a residential land, you're looking at high density, medium density. You can go for low density because there's still a market for low density, but we're looking at something you will learn after now, okay? Because it needs to give you more opportunity to make a lot more from your real estate investment. Now, number 4, it needs to be a very thick bush that is far, 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 far inside from the tarred road, that is beside a district with development, a district with infrastructure. I did not say close to town. This place you're buying must be undeveloped. It must be bush, very thick bush that is inside a place or a district beside development. The reason is because if it is already developed, then that means you will not, if it's already developed, it means that somebody else enjoyed the money you would have made. If it is thick bush, no matter the amount of money you're spending, when development and infrastructure comes there, in Abuja, we are looking at drastic change in prices. Look at anywhere there is infrastructure. Look at the district beside it. Look at the influence of that place with infrastructure on the district beside it. They command almost the same price. Let's give an example of Asokoro. Asokoro, when Guzape came out, it was 3 million. Thick bush. Nobody was interested. Somebody said she bought 3 million. Today, Guzape is about 1 point something billion. For that same size, she bought 3 million. So you're looking at, look at Life Camp and Gwarimpa, they're almost commanding the same price. The same thing with Asokoro and Guzape. You're looking at Jabi, Otako, they are commanding almost the same price. You're looking at Wuye, you're looking at Kodo, Jabi, they are commanding almost the same price. So that's why you cannot wait for development to start creeping in. When development comes, the people that bought it when it was still a thick bush are the ones that will take benefit. That's why I said it's a long-term investment. So when you buy it, you wait. So that when the development comes, you will take all the benefits. You cannot afford to sell and make 20 million naira profit. In Abuja, if you do land banking and your profit is 20 to 30, 50 million, you did not make profit. You need to be patient. Wait, when infrastructure comes, that's when you now talk of either selling or doing a JV. Now, this leads to the benefits of all that we just discussed. Why did we decide to use this for reasons in this strategy? This is because when it's time to develop, for instance, maybe infrastructure is now there, the then minister have said, okay, oh no, everybody that have land on this place, there's infrastructure, they have handed over, come and start developing. You may not have money to develop. Now, because your land has its own title, because your land is an FCD allocation, because your land is high density plot or medium density or a commercial plot, you can go into a joint venture with a capable developer or a builder or even anybody that has money to build but doesn't have money to buy land and build at the same time. Because in Abuja, once infrastructure comes into a place, the land moves from 10 million to hundreds of millions, even billions. So most times when people move into Abuja, they do not have money to buy land and at the same time build. So this is where you come in. You bring your property into the market looking for people who are interested in joint venture. You ask for proof of funds to make sure that this person will not hang your land. You see the proof of funds, you go into the JV, they build the house. People will share houses. You see why it needs to be on the land that has its own title. Because if it's inside an estate, this person needs to make sure that the original document is with you before they can now proceed to get building approval, because there has to be a building approval to build multiple units. This is why you needed that high density or medium density. High density is for flats, medium density is for semi-detached duplexes. And why the commercial was this number one on the list is because when you buy a 900 square meter, for instance, it's a commercial land, you can use it to get 50 units on that land of shops. And you're going to now, when you people share, you get half of that, 25 units. If you put it off for rent, you'll be making a lot more money. So that's why that commercial is number one. If it's a mixed use multifunctional, mixed use is where you build 40% commercial, then 60% residential. You will also get a lot more, a lot more units of apartments or shops or office, whatever it is. If it's a warehouse, people can get a lot more space, okay, for people to do their storage. Okay, so this is why the commercial is number one. Then the high density, where you're building high on a land of 400 square meter, that says is high density. The standard in development control, the approval they give, as at the last time I know, they said it's 8 units. I don't know if they give 6 units, but you have to build high. That means you're going to get 8 units. And 3 bedroom or 2 bedroom or 1 bedroom apartment in Abuja is very expensive. Rent is very expensive in Abuja, especially in places with infrastructure. Once infrastructure comes, rent skyrockets in that region. So this is why you need that high density. Medium density, almost the same thing like high, is usually semi-detached. Sometimes on a medium density, they can allow you to build flat that you build up if the size of the land is not so big for terrace duplexes. So now this is where the juice comes. If you don't have money, you can then use other people's money and build and own houses you didn't build and put it up for rent. Imagine what rent can do for you at old age. You don't tell me that you will keep being strong, you keep being this energetic in your old age. A lot of our parents did not invest in real estate because they didn't understand what real estate meant. Some of them built houses that they were moving into. When you build a house, you must not live in it. You can even buy a land, rent it out to people, steal from that place, and rent a place that you're comfortable to live in. Because see, the truth is, maintaining a house is very expensive. As somebody who is in Abuja to make money, you cannot afford to be making financial mistakes. You can you can own 8 units of apartment that are up for rent for 10 million, and you go and live in another apartment somewhere that is for 8 million or even 10 million, and use this rent to pay, and then use the rest of your rent to do other important things. And imagine what that will do for you in old age when your kids are in school. Each rent can be taking care of the kids school fees and their upkeep while they're in school. So this is why you need to invest in land banking in Abuja. And how does this make it a proof for demolition and revocation? Now, when you are buying a land like this is how you buy it. When you get this land, first thing you have to do is you send a surveyor. You don't tell the agent, come and show me the land. This land is in an undeveloped place. You probably need a bike man to take you there. Sometimes the indigents are very violent. You can't even go. You send a surveyor. You people will meet at a point. The surveyor will go in, get a video of the place, come and meet you at a junction where it is safe for you. Because the indigents are violent, the surveyor may not be able to protect you. So now the surveyor will generate the coordinates. The coordinate proves that this land exists in Abuja. If the coordinate does not exist, it means the land does not exist. So that is number one. Then if the coordinate exists, the surveyor will go get you the video. You see it. It's already in the bush. It could be that the land is on a hilly place. When infrastructure comes, the government will level the places. Sometimes the owners of this land will say, okay, oh, I like my stone. They will harvest the stone and use it to add to the foundation of the house, or they will harvest the stone and sell it. If it's in if the land is in terrain that are rocky, the owners of this land will harvest it, sell it, and maybe use it as fencing for their land. Sometimes the development, when they are trying to do the infrastructure, they will harvest these things and grade the road, fill up. High places will be leveled, the places that are low will be filled up. So it is not a problem. It's probably inside the bush. So when you say that the land exists, the second thing you need to do is the legal search. The legal search, you pay for legal search, and then when the legal search comes out, the legal search report comes out and everything is fine, that's when you now proceed to pay for the land and then pay for your legal, so that the lawyer can bring all the documents he needs to do this next thing, which is registration of power of attorney. Because sometimes some people will go and pay for deed of assignment, power of attorney. When it's time to register the property, you see that some documents, vital documents that you're supposed to collect, especially from the director lottery, may not be from the seller of the property, but from the director lottery, you did not collect it. So you need to make sure that you have all these documents, and this is why it's important to pay the full legal fee so that the lawyer can go out of his way to get all these documents for you. After you have paid for everything, the lawyer have drafted everything, you now tell the lawyer, okay, oh, please, I need my registration to my property to be perfected. Because remember, it's a long-term product, it's a long-term project. Be you cannot own a property, have documents you did not perfect. It is extremely more important to budget for perfection of title. When this property has been registered, all the bills have been paid, and the original RFO has been returned, and the copy of the power of attorney is awaiting signing, you can ask them to return it to you, or they hold it. When the power of attorney has been returned with the stamps, they can now deliver to you. This is when you now have a property that is duly perfected. And at this point, all you need to do is wait for that development and infrastructure to come to that district. Most of you are always in a haste to sell because maybe there's a problem, you want to be in a haste to sell. You have perfected your title. It means you have spent a lot more money. If you sell before development comes, you will not make any money. Okay? So at this point, you need to calm down. Go about your business, raise more money, invest in more property, perfect more property, and wait, your net worth will skyrocket when development moves from that place that has infrastructure into the closest bush beside it. There are so many districts that have been affected by this, and it's working. It doesn't matter if it's in town, it does not matter. Once there is infrastructure and development in a place, look for the bush that is beside it, that is FCD allocation, that has its own title, and buy it and keep. If you're interested in a real estate investment like this, we have a few products, a few land that fits exactly this. All you need to do is send a WhatsApp message to 080 658 20 10 9. 080 658 20 10 9. It is very important you stick to everything that I said for you to get all the benefits of land banking real estate investment that has demolition and revocation proof in Abuja. See you soon. Bye for now.